Welcome to Mindscope Kira. When first logging into Kira, this is the screen in which you're directed, essentially your home page. Here on our left, we see our main anchor, which is how we can navigate between the modules. For example, here we've got candidates, clients, job orders, etc. Whichever module you're in at the time will be highlighted in orange. Over top of that is your navigation within the module itself. For example, I can view a list of all my candidates, as well as filter through. I can quickly search for a candidate by name or ID number. I can schedule an activity. I can search in more detail, send off emails, as well as add a new candidate. On the main screen is our dashboard, and the dashboard is populated by a series of widgets that are user definable. So every user can actually select what widget they'd like on their display, and the ones that don't pertain to their workflow can be X'd out and removed from their view. The widgets are also all interactive, so it gives the user the ability to filter through by time frame, as well as by, in this case, all candidates or my candidates. And this widget, for example, is displaying me my candidates by marketing source. And at first glance, it gives me my information in a donut chart. It also allows me to dig into more detail. For example, if I'd like to see the 5 candidates I have from LinkedIn, I can click on that section of the chart and it'll give me those candidates in list form. The advantage of this is that I can now also sort by the available columns. So here I can sort alphabetically by candidate name, or I can sort by entered date. In the case in which I have more than 5 or 10 per view, I can actually display how many I would like to view within my list. I can also navigate between the pages available, and when I'm dealing with a chart, I can always trace back to my chart very quickly. The widget next door is displaying candidates by their starting placement. So anyone that is scheduled to start work within the time frame I've selected, I can also view here, and again, I can filter through by name as well as by start date. Web integration applied candidates allows me to see candidates that have applied for a job via my website and quickly allows me to step into their file, also allows me to see the enter date. New candidates are candidates that have been added by a user, whether it's been done manually or by parsing. Right below, I have my enhanced pipeline activity widget. And this is our first glance into job orders and our pipelines. It essentially allows me to view for all jobs or my jobs the candidates that are currently being considered, and it allows me to filter by several fields, including the stage that they're in, the client, the position, the candidate, as well as the hiring manager within the client. I can also select for a time frame I would like by using the from and to dates. I can select to view items that have already been completed as well, and I can view all the details on the list below. All columns are adjustable, and I can filter through by them as well. I can also view more detail by clicking on the plus button. This indicates to me that there's more information to be displayed, but it's not necessarily on my list view at the moment. So if I click that, I am able to see the position, the job number, who created it, the subject, as well as the latest note that has been added with that activity. Anything we see that is in blue gives me the ability to enter into more detail. I'm also able to see an enhanced schedule widget. This is allowing me to see what my schedule looks like for the day or the week or the month or for today and prior. I can view items that have yet to be completed or all items, and I can also view other recruiters' activities as well. This again allows me to quickly click and enter into more details about the activity as well as schedule my follow-ups and make my notes. The last widget that I have on display is my candidates by license expiry. So this allows me to view those candidates that I am tracking licenses for the time frame selected, which one is expiring, and I can also, of course, quickly go into their profile to view the licensing information. To access a candidate profile works much like Outlook. So here on my left, I'm able to select a name from my list, whether it's my all list or a search result list or even a hot list I've created. And my right-hand screen is going to populate with a candidate profile. If I right-click on the profile, I can select the information that I would like to display. Anything I see with a checkbox is currently on display on the summary page. Anything I would like to add, I can quickly just select from that list, and the screen will refresh to show me that table as well. All items that are not on display on the candidate summary page, I can access with the drop-downs at the top, just by selecting that there. At the top of my list, I see my candidate defaults. So this is going to display for me the candidate name, their location, latest position, contact numbers, emails, I'm also able to see ownership and account management of this candidate within my company. And here in the middle, it gives me some additional information, such as their current status, their rating, their marketing source, availability date, years of experience, as well as any essential note that we need to be aware of about this candidate. In case that I need to edit any of this information, there is an edit button right over here at the top. Right below that, for this particular view, there is the candidate's employment history, their skills, and these items are both populated by parsing in a resume. I'm also viewing their activity to date table, which is allowing me to step back and see any activity that we have scheduled or we have recorded that has happened with the candidate, and I can view those that are my own or those that have been done by another user. Any note that I've made on the candidate or another user has made it on this candidate, I'm also able to quickly access from here as well as view from the screen. The custom fields table is a set of essentially blank fields that every client can create to track some additional information about their candidates. These items are fully searchable as well as reportable. And the last table I have on display is a table of documents. Any document that I have from the candidate or things that I'm tracking, I'm able to store here as well as view very quickly. From the candidate profile, I can edit a resume by quickly going into Documents. It'll take me to the most up-to-date resume that the candidate has sent for me, and it gives me the ability to edit to my own liking. Within this screen, we are actually now using a Microsoft Word integration. So I have the same accessibility as Word, and I can also create my own templates. I can add logos. I can add letterheads. I can do essentially anything I like, even if all I'm doing is deleting their contact details and saving that in. The watermark checkbox allows me to put my company logo in the background. That way, when I'm sending off a resume to a client, it is marked as ours. And under the Build button, I can build my own templated versions of resumes. That way, I can recreate with one click.